all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
All right, folks, back in the Bossman show here with George Ivory from UAPB, Golden Lions out of SWAC Conference, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to be exact. Coach, what's up with you guys over there in Pine Bluff, man?
And we just trying to stay safe, man, and don't get this academic straight. And we had a voter registration together this past week for the athletic department. We thought that went well, so we're just trying to stay involved in the community.
Well, Coach, let me take you back to March. That was my birthday, March 11th, when everything went crazy. I was at the Atlanta Hawks game, and they told me the season was suspended. And so were you guys in Birmingham when that all went down, and how did you all deal with that, going from playing the SWAC tournament to having to go back home probably on spring break and try to get guys academically to stay on track after their back home to their own devices, Coach?
Well, one thing about it, we didn't make the trip to the SWAC tournament this year.
Okay.
But no, overall, we kept the guys focused with academics for the upcoming year, and we did a great job academically. Our whole department worked good with the kids when it finally hit, and said that we were not going to be able to, the tournament was not going to be put on. So I think the biggest thing was, I think a lot of teams were disappointed, but we knew it was about the safety of the athletes and the coaches and the staffs. So, our kids had to buckle down and get a new way of really getting in here concentrating on academics. And that was our biggest focus.
Most definitely, Coach, your academic advisor probably played a big role, as long as your sister coaches as well, because when the kids used to be on campus, going to class, and if you miss a class, you make them go run a hill or run a mile or something. It's punishment, but they're at home now. They can log in whenever. And I know they get on Blackboard, they didn't find out the grades, but how was that with the academic advisor and your staff to make sure those young men, while they're at home, about the accountability of you guys saying you're going to run for this, keeping them focused, man?
Yeah, and I think that, I take my hat out. We had a great group of guys when it came down to academic. I think this was the first year that we had over 8 or 9 guys to have a 3.0 GPA. And, and like I said, you couldn't tell them, hey, you missed that class. So we tried to call them at least 3 times a week and just make sure they were logging on and making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. And these young men did a great job of doing that.
Most definitely. Now, Coach, how did you guys go about trying to tell your young men about, we both been their ages, and the 18, 23-year-old dudes, they like to go out on dates, go to the movies, go to the mall, and you know how that stuff goes. So how did you get them to understand that, hey, you gotta say no if you don't want to say yes to, because that no can save your life down the road. Because it can save the team's life. Because you never know how this thing gonna hit somebody. So how do you make them understand that, hey, you gotta say no right now, and you might want to do these things, but it'll be out later once all this stuff die down a little bit here.
That's one thing we talked about over the summer too with those guys. When you come back to school, we want you to be focused, and a lot of things that we could do last year we can't do now. A lot of dating and trying to, talk to this young lady and that young lady, or, we can't do it right now. And I told him, you got to be worried about your safety and your teammates' safety, your teacher's safety. So that's been a big thing we've been pushing with these young men through texts, messages. Make sure every morning you wear your mask, you got, sanitizing your hands. And so it's been big with us as a staff to make sure we send this message out every day to our young men, cause to make them stay focused. And sometimes we just ride through the parking lot. If I see somebody, hey man, let's get it on. I blow my horn, cause like I tell them, we might can run, for this COVID if you ain't got that mask on.
Got that right. You got that right, Coach. And Coach, I know when I was back at home, the strength coach probably played a big role to get these guys to give them some kind of a shape, because everybody don't have a hoop in the backyard and go to a hoop or a park. So how's that keeping the young men in shape? Because I know you don't want to get them back to campus and they're looking like Sean Kemp out the lock out there.
Yeah. So what we did, he did a great job with them. We called them and we tried to push it on, like I said, through the phone message and text message, doing certain things, because a lot of their gyms was closed back home. And we talked to them about push-ups, jump rope, things that you can do in your yard, old school jumping the crates, jump a bench, old school things that we did back in the day. We was coming up. We have all this technology. So, we had to jump benches and, leg weights and jumping leg weights, so we went back to a lot of old school stuff with the young men, let them know how we did it back in the day.
And some best stuff from back in the day is classic. Still works to this day. They all this technology, but man, that stuff worked good. And guys got the job done without all the massages and the ice baths we got today, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you already know. And, Coach, I love the fact that, you guys, man, the swag, man. I love the conference. Coach, I went to Tennessee State. We in the OVC, ain't the same like it is in the SWAC or the MEAC. So talk to our fans in Atlanta about how it is to have that SWAC flavor going to a SWAC road game or a home game, and you guys lead league attendance. You always got to get attendance over at Pine Bluff. So talk to the fans in Atlanta about SWAC ball and how it is a night of SWAC with the vibe and the environment of being around our great people, man.
Well, one thing about the SWAC, in the MEAC, I think that'll bring a lot of enjoyment, to see the black conferences. But when you talking about an event like what we do over here, our cheerleaders involved and our SID, they do a great job of getting everybody involved, from a regular DJ to a band, the Greek life at the game, to see them strutting and stepping on the side. I think it's so much enthusiasm going on at the ball games, It'd be, you have to stop people from asking, hey, can we participate at halftime? Because, it's just a great environment, and we're going the road to the SWAC, man. We look forward to going to the crowd, and, it's just that atmosphere is so great.
Most definitely, and I say it's good because I say, you played in the league, and Lindsey Hunter played in the league at Mississippi Valley State, your alma mater. So it's cool to have two guys, coaching the league who played in swag ball. So I know you guys have a special kind of feel about it because you all like born and bred original OG swag ballers, man, for real, for real.
Yeah, and me and Lindsey we go way back. Same high school coming up in Jackson, Mississippi. So, I worked at Jackson State. He played at Jackson State. So we go way back, man. It's just a family atmosphere. When you look at the SWAC, right now you had like Mo Williams at Alabama State. He's a Merle graduate. Tamika Reed is a Merle graduate, Jackson State with the women. Don Brown is from Jackson, Callaway. Wayne Brennan. So it's just a great time, man, to see all these guys involved in the SWAC now, to understand what they missed, especially the guys that didn't go to the HBCU. How we do it, how they say how we do it, how they swag and the swag is.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, thank God we're from Atlanta. I can go over to the AUC and go to Clark and, Spelman, of course. But like I said, going to Tennessee State, man, I just felt like, we had a great time, but we go on the road, man. It was just so dull and dry, man. I'm like, man, I'm so bored. Like, I enjoyed football class. We played against the black schools, but we played like the little, over there, like, man, this is, the whole vibe is different, Coach. You know how it is, man.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a different environment.
Yes, yes, indeed. And y'all about to get even better when you add in Bethune and Florida A&M next year. So it's about to really be popping off in the swag. But the travel, Coach, is what gets me about the conference. It's already tricky. Then you add the Florida piece, Texas, Arkansas. Man, y'all spreading over the whole South for real, for real.
Yeah, and that's one thing we've been talking about in our head coaches meeting is that, the travel is going to be big, and we trying to work on some things where one year we might not have to travel there to Florida, and one year they might not have to travel to us in Texas. So I think it's going to be very interesting next year with them coming into the league, and I just think it's going to be very exciting times in the SWAC.
And Coach, you've been at HBCU school, having a lot of young black men on your roster. However, you talking to your young men about, the social injustice right now. We had here in Atlanta again, in Clayton County, a issue here in Atlanta. So just 3 times this year in Georgia already. So how have you talked to your young men about, watching themselves, understand that, hey, you got to carry a little bit differently. What time take off your plow and bluff? You're just a young black man in Arkansas. You got to really be safe and be vigilant of what you got going on because, even if you do everything right, Coach, it can still end badly for you, unfortunately.
Yeah, one thing we talk about is, trying to do the right thing. I always tell them if they get stopped to pull it over, try to be manageable, and not be resisting anything. Because like I said, still could pop off. But we talk to them a lot about that. And, they talk about the things that's going on in this country. And I told them to make a difference, we have to get into this voters registration thing. We got to vote to make a difference. And they all got on the bandwagon. We decided to do this voter registration thing. And I was happy to see a lot of the athletes got involved with it.
Most definitely, because that's so important. It's so important for so many reasons. And getting those guys to mail in ballots, I don't know, live in Arkansas, of course, make sure they get the ballots requested from back home and sent off in time because it's so crucial and key for you guys, man, for all of us, man. This is major, Coach. This is like really life and death right now for us.
That's right. You're exactly right. So, we all as, young adults, older adults like me, we trying to stay safe from the COVID and everything else that's social injustice right now. But, I tell these kids, if you stay focused, within that academics first, good things going to happen.
And Coach, tell us about some of your newcomers coming into your roster this year, Coach, to some guys you want to spotlight for us. Our listeners can make sure look out for your guys when play gets started here real soon.
Okay, we have a young man about 5'8". We call him about 5'9", named Joshua Johnson from Phoenix, Arizona. Is going to be very, very exciting. He's going to be electrifying. If you can remember Trey Jefferson that played at Texas Southern a couple years ago, he's kind of like that kid. Very exciting. Jalen Jones is going to be pretty good for us. So we got Tavon Johnson going to be pretty good from out of Houston, Texas, about 6'8". So we really looking forward. Then we had a lot of guys that come back from injury last year. It was the worst year we ever had for his injuries. We got 3 key players coming back. And one guy was preseason all SWAC last year, broke a bone in his foot. So we very excited about this basketball season.
And Coach, how's recruiting via Zoom for you guys this time around? 'Cause I know some schools told me they're able to expand their reach doing it via the Zoom, saving money on the recruiting budget, which makes the ADs very happy, of course. And so, how was that for you guys recruiting via Zoom? They will get those guys face to face, but also the Zoom piece, to get some guys you never you get to talk to or touch because you can show them the campus virtually now and get to them that way.
And that's one thing we did. We did a great job during the year of communicating with a lot of kids that we signed. We have been talking with them the whole year. And once COVID hit, we had to go to the FaceTime and texting a whole lot and just communication. And we ended up getting those kids. So that really helped us a lot during that time. And like I said, saved us some money budget-wise, but it just was a good time to really learn another way to communicate because, we had to talk face-to-face sometime on virtual FaceTime because we get so much now with text, and I wasn't tech savvy at one time. So I had to learn really quick. Yeah, so, it was a great time, man, to meet these guys and their family through that virtual time and show them our campus. We had to go take pictures and set things up, videos for the parents that want to see the dorms, just our campus period, which we thought we did a great job with that too.
That's one I got for you, coaches. I know you guys in the SWAC, man, got to play these guarantee games, and we'll learn hopefully next week about what the season will look like. So if you got to move the dates back in the guarantee games, you might miss out on. So are you reaching out to other teams trying to play some games on the back end of that, and hoping to make some money? Because we all know that men's basketball, football, and women's basketball raises the money for everybody else at an HBCU school. Yeah,
and what we've did. With them getting ready to move back, we've made contact with a couple universities that we think that we're going to miss if they move the date back. And we are trying to schedule some dates with them now within between that other time frame to keep that money coming in. So we're just blessed, and we're trying to stay safe, man, and trying to win us a championship.
I hear that, Coach Ivory. Coach, good having the show, man. It was fun to catch up with you, man. And we got to do this again real soon. I'll be keeping my eye on you guys over there in Pine Bluff for real, Coach. When you come to Montgomery, I might come out and see if you guys played in Montgomery, because that ain't too far from the house either.
All right. We'll so appreciate it. Look for you.
All right, Coach. Have a good talk to you real soon now.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. It's George Ivory on the Bossman Show.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Album is available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.